Hello everyone. So in today's video, we're going to talk about text structures. We're going to learn about what text structures are and then the different types. So a text structure, first definition here in top left corner, is a way an author organizes information in a text. And so when we understand the structure of a text, it will help us focus our attention on key concepts, anticipate what is to come, and monitor our comprehension. Okay, so it's very important. We're going to be using text structures all throughout the year. It's very important that at this point we just get the basics down of text structures and are able to start using that in the other texts that we read. So our first type of text structure here is description. Description is when the author describes a topic by listing characteristics, features, attributes, and examples. So I wanted to describe a red panda to you. I would tell you the different characteristics a red panda had, what it looks like, what it likes to do, and then provide maybe some examples of red pandas to you. So the main purpose is to inform the reader about a specific topic, and then we do this by characteristics, features, and attributes. Now, this is a hey everyone, quick note. If it's in yellow, it's your first bullet, your first tab in your notes. If it's in blue, it's after purpose, and it says it comes after purpose, then it's the second bullet. And so we need this one in the first one, this one in the second one. Now our next slide here is signal words. This is the second definition in the top left corner. Signal words help the author transition between the different ideas clearly, so they are a hint for the reader as to the organization of the text. And I just have a list of signal words here, but I've already put them in your notes for you, so you don't need to copy any of these down. Moving on to our second, we have chronological sequence. This is a description, but in a broader sense. So when the author uses the order of events or chronology to inform the reader about the events or content. Now, the author will do this. Notice there's no purpose here. The author will do this. My dogs. Gotta love them. The author will... Boys, what could it be? The author will do this by time and date, series of steps, or a list-like structure. So time and date, the history of the United States, series of steps, how to fix a car engine, how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, so you are describing things in a kind of in a broader sense, but not like you were the description. This is focusing on time order. So you might describe specific events in the history of the United States instead of just going into one particular event, right? So moving on here to actually really quickly, with chronological, you'll see specific time indicators. With sequential, you'll see first, second, third, later, next, finally, so on and so forth. Our next one here is compare and contrast. Now with compare and contrast, this is when the author explains how two or more elements are alike and how they are different. The purpose is to explore the relationships between two elements. Notice here we have our yellow and our blue again, first bullet, second bullet, and then it was organized either by subject or by similarities and differences. It is vital or important that with compare and contrast, you're comparing two things that are both similar and different. You don't want to compare a guitar to a soccer ball. You don't want to compare a red panda to a bald eagle. Well, bald eagle, they're both endangered. That actually might work. A red panda to a birthday cake. Okay, so similarities and differences. A soccer ball to a football. Guitar to a bass. I guess bald eagle and red panda would actually work, but maybe like birthday cake to an apple pie. So there needs to be similarities and differences in the things that you are comparing and contrasting. Compare means similar, contrast means different. These are some of your signal words, right? Advantage, just as, similarly, on the other hand, so on and so forth. Cause and effect is the author shows how one thing leads to another thing. So how did giant pandas become endangered? They're now vulnerable, but at one time they were endangered. So what led to them becoming endangered? The purpose is to create relationships between events and ideas. So the events that led up to them being endangered. Effects are always followed by the causes, so the cause will come first. Something happened, and then pandas became endangered. Maybe an easier thing to look at would be you and your brother were messing around at the house. You knocked over a glass table. The glass table cracked. Cause and effect. You were messing around, playing around, bumped into the table fell. The result of the table falling, the effect of the table falling, it cracked. All right, that might be an easier way to look at cause and effect. Now, here are some of the ones. A lot of consequently is a really big one. Due to is a really big one. Our last one is problem and solution. Now, with problem and solution, the author presents a problem and one or more solutions. So there has to be a problem, and there has to be a way to solve that problem. Okay, the solution doesn't have to be a good solution, but a solution has to be provided. So the purpose is to present a concerning issue and share something that was, can be, or should be done to remedy, that's another way for solution, solve this issue. So there should be a problem with details or multiple problems with details, and solution or multiple solutions with details. So giant pandas are endangered. They're now vulnerable, but what were ways that they could prevent them from continuing to be endangered? And they found the solutions. I don't know the solutions, but they found ways to make them no longer endangered, now vulnerable. So problem, dilemma, solution, resolve, remedy, assist, all of the above. Now, here's the caution part. Cause and effect and problem and solution can be very similar and easily confused. So how do you tell the difference? Cause and effect explains why or how a situation or event occurred. Problem and solution proposes solutions to those negative situations or events. So, for example, cause and effect, right? You knocked over a table and cracked it. You now have a problem, right? So sometimes cause and effect can lead to a problem, but there has to be a solution provided for it to become problem and solution. I don't think there is a solution to you cracking the table, right? You're going to be in trouble with your parents. The effect of you cracking the table is you're going to be in trouble with your parents. I don't really think there's a way to solve the getting in trouble with your parents. I think it's just going to happen, and then it's not going to happen again. So, that could be the solution to the problem. We won't horseplay in the house anymore, but is it the best solution? It doesn't really solve the problem of there being a cracked table. So cause and effect can really lead to problem and solution, but it does not always lead to problem and solution. Fun fact, organizing information into a text is nothing new for you. You already do this. Think about how many similarities and differences you thought of between things today. How often do you remember to think about causes and their consequences? For example, getting your phone out in class. For example, playing around and knocking over a table. How many problems do you solve every single day, right? Math class, English class. How many problems do you solve every single day, even just at home? How many things have you had to remember so far today? Have you made any mental lists? Sequential. How often do you chat about things that have happened to you? You're describing every time you talk to somebody about something and just telling them about it. Tell about your day. That's a description. So you do these all the time. You use these skills all the time. And our last note, right? Hint, hint, summarizing everything that we've talked about. One more time, summarizing everything we've talked about today. Being able to recognize text structures has its advantages. You will be able to locate main ideas quickly, understand the author's purpose, summarize ideas, and explain what the text is about. This is why we do text structures early, because we use all of these skills. Everything that you see highlighted here is a skill that we're going to be working on later in this year. So last thing here, you're going to go to this quizzes. And then after the quizzes, you're going to complete this practice. Both are linked in the text structures practice assignment. And as always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. I will always help you. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching.